Oh, it wouldn't be Christmas without. Apparently, Mariah Carey's become some kind of joke because she makes so much Christmas music. I've never found it overwhelming. I think she does fine. Uh, Obviously, she's easy on the eyes too. That's always been helpful when it comes to Mariah Carey. But without further ado, I will bring you installment 5 of our 12 Flicks of Christmas. Let's keep the music going because this kind of starts rocking. It's a banger, isn't it? It starts coming along pretty well. Oh man, Mariah Carey's like in this skin tight Santa Claus red leotard one piece unitard. Okay, whatever. Anyway, we'll let her do her thing for a minute and then we'll get into this because this movie that I'm going to talk about has a decent amount to say, but doesn't have a huge amount to say. I don't have a huge amount to say about it, so we'll see where it goes. I'll try to make it last 10 minutes. As you guys know, I'm really good at filling time with bullshit. So I will, we'll go on that in a minute. There she is in all her mixed race glory. Wow. Okay, I'm going to have impure thoughts around Christmas if I keep looking at Mariah Carey in a tight unitard, so sorry. Okay, thank you, Mariah. Appreciate you. Merry Christmas to you, Mariah. Um, I've lost my mind. It's Christmas. It's what we sometimes do. So, what are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about a movie called The Christmas Switch, which was filmed in 2018. It's on Netflix, so you can check it out there if you want. And I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm going to be doing some filler this episode because I don't think I have too much to say about the movie. I did watch it with Logan, and as usual, Logan's just like throughout. I'm just like, try to enjoy it. I know 17-year-olds are often not good at enjoying things, so I get it. He's had a stressful year, but here we are. So, like I said, installment 5, which is the 5 gold or golden. Here's the thing I was thinking about right before I started talking about this movie, which I eventually will. But why is it gold rings, 5 gold rings, or is it five golden rings? I used to hear it 5 golden rings when I was a kid. I think when we did little, concert choirs when we were in elementary school, I'm pretty sure that's how we had to sing it. Now it's gold rings, I think. So I'm going to throw that out. That is my contribution to start a Christmas YouTube dumpster fire. the great debate of 2021, is it gold or golden for 5? But here we are, installment 5 of 12 of 12 Flicks of Christmas, and this was called The Christmas Switch, like I said, and all it is it's 2 women grabbing a really cool candy cane ornament at a store and their lives switching. The movie starts 2 perfectly, actually very good-looking women, as is often the case in Hollywood. By the way, I didn't recognize one actor from this movie. Typical Netflix production. Everyone looks great. The production quality's fine. The music isn't anything special to write home about. The writing is all right. And once again, you find in Hollywood you can find good-looking people that can act pretty well for a dime a dozen, I think, and that was the case. Scene opens with the less, how do I want to put it, the more homemakery woman. I wasn't going to say less successful. I was just going to say less glitzy, I guess. She works in a restaurant, and it's a restaurant. It's a weird restaurant. There's probably a lot to talk about actually in this movie. It's a restaurant owned by an old black guy. Nothing wrong with that, but he's a little he's a little hard on this particular employee because it's a weird restaurant where it's a Christmas themed restaurant, and but it's apparently open the year round, and you have to get up and sing. If you work there, you sing sometimes, and there are people that don't work there, I think, and you can get up and sing. It was very weird, but this woman's a very good singer. The movie opens with her on stage, and then ends up it's like a daydream that she's like, oh, I could be an amazing America's Got Talent type of person, American Idol type of person, and then it fades back, and all of a sudden she's dealing with customers and dishes and so, and she's a family woman. She's very into taking care of her husband and her daughter. And then this woman comes into the restaurant, and she's Miss Corporate. And you can tell right off the bat, she's a total bitch. She's very rude. And she sees this woman sing, goes, wow. Because it's her turn to do her 10 minutes during her shift. And she gets up and sings. And this corporate woman's like, yeah, wow, that was amazing. You could really have a life or be somebody if you did, if you went for it. And the woman's like, I am somebody. I'm a mom, and I'm a family person. And so they end up at they have this exchange. It's not the most pleasant of exchanges. Then they end up at a department store, last minute. I think it's supposed to be Christmas Eve or in the Christmas season. They're shopping. They always run into some weird person, right? Uh, this lady that runs the store is very odd. Just not super odd, but just kind of quirky, almost like a hippie in a city of corporate type of people. And the bitch woman. She should be known heretofore as bitch woman. Now the corporate lady comes in and she just skips this entire line of people waiting for stuff on layaway, if layaway is even a thing anymore. It's been reserved for her, and and the woman's like just lets her do it and says, here's a candy cane. You should be nice. Sometimes just a taste of candy cane helps you be nice. And okay, so she's on her way out and she sees this amazing ornament on a tree, and so does the other woman. The other woman's there from the waitress woman, the family woman's there. And so it's like a cool candy, two candy canes shaped like a heart, of course. And they go and they both put their hand on it. It's the classic, wait, no, this is mine. No, this is mine. And they snap it in two and they go flying back into opposite directions and they switch. Logan had a really good point about this. Usually in switch type movies, for one thing, you get to know the characters a little bit better. We knew enough, though. I mean, it was pretty obvious. One really appreciates family and being home and is fine with her lot in life. And the other one, the corporate woman runs like not a talent agency, but she runs a music studio, or a record label, and so and she deals with multi-million-dollar talent, and so there's obviously very different lives. But usually in these movies, it's radically different people, or at least not the same age and not the same sex. Not the same sex like Freaky Friday and both versions that we've seen, whether it was the Lindsay Lohan version or the, who was it? Was it Tatum O'Neal in the original one? They switch, and I don't know. There just seems to be more radical of a switch. Like, I love it when Jamie Lee Curtis switches with Lindsay Lohan in the recent one, and they are freaking out because one's going into the body of a 17-year-old and the other's going into the body of a woman in her 40s, well into her 40s, I think, like menopausal. And so it's there's a lot of humor to be had with that. There's some humor to be had with the switch one that people are very similar, to one upper middle class, but another middle class, two middle class white women, that don't have to see the struggles of a person radically younger. Like in Big, same thing. Tom Hanks was very young going to, they switched, I forgot, who's the guy he switched with? I'm having a brain fart there, but, the characters just didn't pop the way they needed to for this movie. It was very sweet, very nice movie. I kind of felt like they kind of sided on this is where these movies often go, though, at Christmas time. It wasn't religious at all, but it was very traditional. Like the woman, the corporate woman, when she was in the body of the homie woman, was more, they seemed to say, she seemed to be imparting more lessons, like you should spend more time with family and you should care more about your home life. And this woman built a business, and a very successful business, so the woman that's in her body now is often like cutting out meetings and spending more time with her teenage daughter, which was necessary and obviously very important. But she almost blows a deal which would have brought this woman's business crumbling down. And so that's kind of a thing. It's like, no, this woman chose to be a corporate woman. Yeah, she's a bitch in the movie. Not all corporate people are mean, and sometimes you got to be hardcore a little bit. But that cutthroat aspect to business and running a successful business, obviously, especially in a very competitive business like having a record label. But they always make it seem like, to me in these movies, that you need to, the family person is the one who's truly happy, and you need to emulate that. And those are more of the lessons that are imparted in these movies. No, Logan and I both noticed that. So I did make this stretch out to 10 minutes. I'm trying to think of, not too much else happened. It was kind of funny. They kept talking about the corporate woman like she was the super hot one. The other one was very nice looking too. It was kind of funny to me. I was like, to me, this is a coin toss. The corporate one was slightly better looking, I guess, in a classic sense, but they were both hot. They're Hollywood people, and that's what they do. They're hot. They make movies. I know this wasn't the best review of a movie, but I don't think it's just another one of those movies that falls into this morass of Christmas movies, and that's why I'm doing this. I've seen a bunch of other YouTubers that do it way better than me. They use editing. They're smarter. They're younger. They're hipper. So they do this way better than me. But I thought it would be a fun challenge to try to watch one movie a night. I'm one behind. I do plan on getting 2 done today. I was hoping to do that yesterday, but tonight this will be fun. I'm looking forward to 12 Dogs of Christmas because there's so many stupid movies about dogs and Christmas. So I think Logan and I are going to have a lot of fun with that. And I'll give you a review on that hopefully tonight. Thanks, guys, for checking this one out. That's about it. We'll talk to you next time. Bye.